Well, hello. Welcome to a new year and another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of Crop Life and Crop Life Iron, here again with my partner, the last, I guess what, 20 months or so, Laura Sowinski. Laura, how you doing?
Hey, happy New Year, Eric.
Yeah, I hope you had a good New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Didn't imbibe too much. Hopefully, none of us did, and that we just had a nice, comfortable feeling, warm feeling going into the new year. If that was eggnog or heated apple cider or whatever your beverage of choice was. So.
Now it's warm milk and a brownie these days.
Oh boy, yes, yes, we are coming across as quite ancient. Thank you. So, hey, Miss Laura, since we're in a new year, of course, everybody is going to be very, very interested in what the marketplace is thinking and feeling. And I
Real.
think you have a report a little bit on grower sentiment, correct?
I do. You know that I'm a big fan of the Purdue CME Group monthly survey, and the first survey of 2024 came out this first week of January. And I wanted to just highlight some of the findings from the survey. The survey was conducted December 4th through 8th. So, looking ahead to 2024, U.S. farmers' inflation expectations are markedly lower than they were at the start of last year, 2023. And I'm going to read a couple items from their conclusion. So, farmer sentiment bottomed out in September and recovered modestly this fall as the Ag Economy Barometer closed out the year with an index reading of 114. The sentiment improvement was driven primarily by farmers' improved perception of current conditions on their farms, as the current conditions index rose 14% from September to December. So, nice little pickup the last quarter or so of 2023. So, at year end, December, U.S. farmers still pointed to input costs as their top concern for 2024, but the percentage of farmers choosing the risk of lower crop and or livestock prices rose from just 16% in January to 26% in December. Inflation expectations among farmers, according to this most recent survey, moderated during 2023. Compared to a year earlier, far fewer producers expect inflation to exceed 6% in the new year, and a large majority look for inflation to average less than 4% in 2024. So, certainly good news on that front. And lastly, in December, farmers expressed a somewhat more sanguine view of interest rates than they did in late 2022, with just over one-third of survey respondents indicating they expect prime interest rates to decline in 2024. So, as I look through the report, for the most part, somewhat stable, the December findings versus November. But I think, feeling pretty good is what I would take away. So, yeah, so good news for the start of the year.
Yeah, and again, that kind of jives with what our Crop Life 100 report in December
Mhm.
had said. I know we'd asked our ag retailers what the grower customers' feelings were going into 2024 and how they would rank the year on a scale of 1 to 10, 1
Mhm.
being low, 10 being high. And I was surprised when I ran the numbers. The average came out to like a 7.7, 7.8,
Yeah,
which is a pretty strong number. So
indeed.
again, it doesn't surprise me you said that the sentiment bottomed out in September because yeah, the last
Onward.
quarter of the year seems like it was a very good one for everyone involved. So.
Yeah, exactly. Nice way to finish off the year and kind of look a little more uh favorably on what we might see this year. So yeah, we'll see how things unfold for 24, of course, but it's a nice start for the year.
Yeah, well, and speaking of 24 and maybe even going a little further forward, again, I know in videos in 2023, a couple of them, you and I were talking a little bit about renewable diesel
Mhm.
and the renewable diesel market and how that was beginning to develop and was
Yeah.
potentially going to be taking off. Would increase the demand for soybean, of course, soybean acreage as we went going forward in years. Had a news story I ran across. This came from the Iowa Renewable Fuels Association. Their executive director, excuse me, Monty Shaw, was talking about that based on their estimation and read of the marketplace that the aviation renewable fuels marketplace is one to keep an eye
Mm.
on because that has
Yeah.
the potential to be a huge market for ag. Could be potentially $100 billion marketplace in the near future. And just for some comparison, of course, we all know about ethanol, which has been around for over a decade now in the marketplace for cars and trucks.
Mhm.
That market is 14 billion gallons. So again, 100 billion versus
Yeah.
14 billion.
Crazy.
That's a huge increase. And of course, we won't have the final USDA projections for planting for 2024 until March, but
Mhm.
I would anticipate more soybean acreage coming down the line. So we will see if
Yeah.
that does indeed come to pass. So
I'm glad you spotted that story. I saw it too, and I almost had to do like a double take. It's like that is incredible. I would not have guessed that it would be that substantial, that market, and what they're likely going to see. So that's a great story. I love it.
yeah, I was going to say, and you consider how much the airlines, the airliners use a lot of fuel when they're going between places. So again, yeah,
Yeah.
potential $100 billion market worldwide, I might add, not just domestic, but worldwide.
Yeah.
So hey, one other thing I ran across that was kind of interesting. This will be one of those good news, bad news type of an items. I ran across a report from a group that had done a study on trade show attendance,
Yeah.
and we're looking at trade shows 2023 versus 2019, which of course was before the pandemic became
Mhm.
a thing, and the trade shows kind of tailed off or went away for a year or two. Basically, the bad news part was that overall trade show attendance is off about 20% versus 2019 totals. However, the good news, and this is where it comes in while we're reporting it, agricultural trade shows have rebounded, 30% increase in attendance compared
Wow.
with 2019 numbers. And again, I know you
Awesome.
and I have been at several shows in the last year, and it seems like the attendance, at least in my mind, and based on the numbers, that the attendance has been very positive. There have been a lot of folks interested in what's going on in the agricultural world, and according to the study, there is some numbers to back that up. So,
That's great. Wow, that's a lot. Yay.
yeah. Well, speaking
So,
of trade shows, I guess you have some news to share with our viewers, correct?
I do. We are in the final weeks before our Vision Conference, which is January 22nd through the 24th in Glendale, Arizona. So I wanted to give our audience an update and some more details on what to expect. This conference, it will be the seventh year for the Vision Conference, and um, not surprisingly, it's going to be bigger and better than prior years. Better in terms of just we continue to improve on it, and certainly taking into account feedback that we get from attendees, what topics are important to them, what kind of format they want to see. A couple things that are going to be new for 2024 for the Vision Conference. For the first time, we're issuing a pre event executive insights report that really kind of takes a deep dive into trends and innovations that are driving ag tech. And this executive insights report is really going to help us make sure that we, use every minute that we have devoted exactly to what attendees want to hear about, what they want to discuss. So that will be exciting for us. It's great. I mean, honestly, I think that's a really wonderful value add for this year. In addition, as far as the format, the conference, of course, in prior years, um, we've had folks presenting, we've had panel discussions. This year, we are adding interactive working groups to
Mm.
the agenda. with actionable discussion and facilitated networking intentionally designed to push traditional thinking, inspire innovative solutions, and advance the ag tech industry. Um, and of course, the conference, and we've noticed this every free minute, if you will. Folks were, kind of having their little sidebars and breakouts. It's certainly an event where a lot of networking, discussing, catching up with people, but really a lot of one on one. So we built into the program this year a lot of time for that to make sure that people get the time that they need, to talk one on one. Of course, our Women in Ag Tech group will be co-located. We will have Women in Ag Tech kicking off on Monday the 22nd with a full program from 8 to 2 p.m. And that will lead into the afternoon networking and like a wrap up with Women in Ag Tech while the Vision conference kicks off. So this year as well, we will have 2 keynote speakers at Vision. On day 1, Vasanth Ganeshan, partner with McKinsey, will speak on seeding the future, navigating ag tech horizons in the next 2 to 5 years. So he's going to kind of take a look at some research and surveys to kind of look at what the challenges are with regards to ag tech, but certainly where it's heading, what things are important, how we're going to get there, kind of what things are in the works now that we're likely to see. On day 2, we have Brian Lutz from Corteva, and I had the pleasure of talking with Brian during the Tech Hub Live fireside chat. So Brian, VP of Agricultural Solutions at Corteva, will be speaking on exploring cross-industry synergies to enable the ag tech evolution. So kind of looking at, we talk about, there's so much that's going on just within the ag space, but equally important is how agriculture is continuing to interact and collaborate more with regards to, tech and what that's going to look like. So really 2 great speakers. Of course, we have an MC, Claire, for SDA. I was trying to practice that. It's a little, French name, and I wanted to get that right. But Claire actually is great. She's really popular on LinkedIn. I know some of our colleagues here at the company follow her. She's awesome, so she will be our MC as well. So thevisionconference.com. If you haven't registered yet, I invite you to go there and check out what we're going to offer. And again, that's January 22nd through the 24th.
Yeah,
So,
and obviously being in Arizona in January, depending on where you happen to be in the United States, there are worse places to be. So
yeah, I don't think we'll get snow there, but you might want to bring a jacket, but it'll be great. It'll be
yeah,
awesome. I'm
well,
excited.
good. I was
Yeah.
going to say, I know we'll be talking about it the next week or two, and then we'll have updates post show, of course, on what everything was said and who
Yes.
talked, and yeah, our viewers will get the report from you because you will be in Arizona enjoying yourself. So
I will.
all right. Well, Miss Laura, time for your
Yes.
favorite segment of the program. Time for One with Numbers.
Eric, I need to turn this around for 24. You
Well,
either need to
I,
give
I
me really, really easy questions or something because, I think I'm stuck in the mud here,
well, all right. Pay attention. Keep in mind
Okay.
what we've been discussing, and I'll give you that as a clue. And hopefully, my fingers are crossed that you'll start 24 on a good note.
Okay.
So Miss Laura, your number is 60%. All right.
Okay.
So is 60%, is that A, the projected increase in soybean acreage needed to keep up with renewable diesel demand? Is it B, the projected increase in ag technology spending by agribusinesses over the next 5 years? Is it C, the projected uptick in corn prices for 2024? Or is it D, the projected decrease in my credit card balance post holidays?
I thought you were going to say something about the 100 billion gallons of. I
Yeah,
was like,
no,
I'm going to get this. I'm going to get.
no, I wouldn't have given you a number and then thrown it at you again in the fun with
Why
numbers. That's
not?
just a little too easy.
um, A is A the right answer?
No, it is not. I'm sorry.
What?
No, the answer, because again,
Oh,
we were talking about a technology conference and technology. The answer is
it's
B,
B.
projected increase in ag technology spending by agribusinesses. This is an item that comes from a company called The Yield, which did a survey of 807 U.S. agribusiness workers, executives, and decision makers, on farm managers, and the like regarding their projected spending on ag technology over the next 5 years. And again, their numbers show a 60% increase. The top three categories that they're going to be looking at: precision agricultural tools, farm management software, and data consolidation systems. So those are the three most popular areas for the spending that will be taking place. And like I said, 60% increase over the next five
Hmm.
years for agribusinesses in ag
Oh,
technology spending. So again, there's events like Vision and Tech Hub Live that we have coming up in the summer. Obviously, there is going to be activity in and around those markets going forward for the next 5 years. So
yeah.
folks need to pay attention, obviously, to these sectors. So
Well, speaking of paying attention, you said C, or the third one rather, was data consolidation. That was a
debt
category. That was
consolidation systems, yeah.
okay.
So in other
Interesting.
words, I mean, they have systems that are, are little silos at this point, and they want to get them
Yeah.
talking to
And
one another. And I'm sure with AI and
rated.
technology improvements, that'll be something that'll be coming. So
Okay. Interesting. Well, I always learn something.
I
Too
hope
bad we
so.
don't have the answer.
We always aim to educate, inform, and of course, entertain. So, of course, by you missing it, I know all the 5 and 6 year olds who watch our videos waiting for the buzz will be perfectly happy.
Well, see, there's value in that somehow.
Well, thanks again for playing, Laura. Better luck next week. And on
Alrighty.
behalf of myself and everyone here at Crop Life, thanks for joining us for the first video of 2024. We hope you had a great New Year's celebration, and we'll look forward to talking to you again real soon. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.